You're sitting on a plane, seatbelt securely fastened, surrounded by the hum of conversations and the occasional ding from the flight attendant's call button. It's Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, and your journey has just begun. The flight seems routine, the kind where you plan to doze off or watch a movie until you land. Suddenly, without any warning, the plane veers off course. Your phone's GPS no longer works. The screens on the seats flicker off. Something isn't right. Now imagine, the world is searching for you. But you, your fellow passengers, and the plane itself are nowhere to be found. This is not the plot of a fictional thriller. This is the chilling reality of what happened to MH370. Welcome to Mystery Junky, where we dive deep into the mysteries that defy explanation. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an unsettling, jaw-dropping story like this one. Now, let's uncover the haunting tale of flight MH370. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 departed from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, bound for Beijing, China. On board were 239 people, including 227 passengers and 12 crew members. The flight was supposed to last about 6 hours, but just 40 minutes after takeoff, all contact with the plane was lost. The plane's transponder, which communicates the aircraft's location to air traffic control, went dark. MH370 seemed to vanish into thin air, leaving no distress signals, no cries for help, just an eerie silence. Radar data revealed that the plane made a sharp turn westward, away from its intended path, heading toward the vast and empty Indian Ocean. This was the first clue that something sinister, or perhaps deliberate, was happening. But the haunting question remains. How can a modern aircraft simply disappear in an era dominated by technology? One of the most debated theories centers around Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah, the plane's experienced pilot. Zahari had logged over 18,000 flying hours and was considered a skilled professional. However, investigators discovered that he had plotted a flight path on his home flight simulator eerily similar to MH370's final course over the Indian Ocean. Was this a deliberate act? Some experts believe Zahari might have been battling personal issues or depression and used this flight as a way to end his life, taking 238 innocent souls with him. The deliberate disabling of the plane's communication systems and the unusual course changes suggest a calculated plan. Could Zahari have orchestrated one of the most infamous murder-suicides in history? Or is he being wrongfully accused? Another possibility is that the cabin lost pressure, causing hypoxia, oxygen deprivation for everyone on board. In this scenario, the crew and passengers would have fallen unconscious within minutes, leaving the plane on autopilot until it ran out of fuel. This theory could explain why MH370 veered off course and flew for hours into the Indian Ocean. But there's a chilling twist. If this was simply an accident, why were the transponder and communication systems manually turned off? Could hypoxia alone explain such an intentional-looking disappearance? Some argue that MH370 could have experienced a catastrophic mechanical failure, such as an electrical fire or an engine explosion, that forced the pilots to change course in search of an emergency landing. However, modern airplanes like the Boeing 777 are designed to handle emergencies and send distress signals in such events. So, why was there no emergency beacon? Why didn't anyone on board send a message? These unanswered questions make mechanical failure seem less likely and add an unsettling layer of mystery. The Indian Ocean is one of the most remote and treacherous places on Earth. Its depth and vastness make it nearly impossible to search. Debris from MH370 eventually began washing up along the coasts of Madagascar, Mozambique, and Reunion Island, but the wreckage has never been fully recovered. Vincent Line, an oceanographer, suggested that MH370 might have been deliberately flown to a part of the ocean with steep underwater trenches. Was this intentional, to ensure the plane would never be found? The idea that someone planned this disappearance so meticulously is as fascinating as it is horrifying. The search for MH370 is one of the most extensive and expensive in aviation history, costing nearly $200 million. For years, ships and planes scoured the Indian Ocean, using sonar, underwater drones, and advanced technology to locate the wreckage. Despite their efforts, the mystery remains unsolved. In 2018, a private company, Ocean Infinity, took on the challenge, exploring over 112,000 square kilometers of ocean. But even they came up empty-handed. How can a plane the size of a football field disappear so completely? MH370 is not just a story about a missing plane. It's about 239 lives that vanished without closure. Families of the victims still grapple with the agony of not knowing what happened to their loved ones. The passengers included a mix of professionals, students, and entire families, each with their own dreams and stories, now lost to history. Among them was a group of 20 engineers from Freescale Semiconductor, a company specializing in advanced communication technology. Were they the target of a conspiracy? Did their presence on board make this flight a target for foul play? Some speculate that MH370 may have been accidentally shot down by a military exercise gone wrong. With tensions in the region, could the plane have been mistaken for a threat? Governments might have covered it up to avoid international conflict. Could powerful nations be hiding the truth? In our modern age, planes are vulnerable to cyber attacks. Some believe MH370 may have been remotely hijacked by hackers. But who would have the skill and motive to pull off such an operation? And why? For the conspiracy enthusiasts, MH370's disappearance has even sparked theories of extraterrestrial involvement. A large, advanced object detected in the area by radar has fueled speculation of UFOs. Is it possible that the plane was taken by forces beyond Earth? MH370's communication systems were manually disabled. The plane made an intentional turn away from its planned route. Debris has confirmed that the plane crashed in the Indian Ocean. The mystery remains one of the greatest unsolved cases in aviation history. The disappearance of MH370 strikes a deep chord in the human psyche. It reminds us of how little control we have in a world dominated by technology. How can we feel safe if a state-of-the-art aircraft, operated by trained professionals, can vanish without a trace? As we ponder these questions, we must also confront the eerie reality. If MH370 could disappear, could it happen again? As we close this unsettling chapter, we're left with more questions than answers. Was this a deliberate act of sabotage, a tragic accident, or something far more sinister? The truth about MH370 remains hidden deep beneath the waves of the Indian Ocean, or perhaps somewhere far stranger. At Mystery Junky, we explore these chilling tales to keep the conversation alive. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to join us in uncovering the world's darkest mysteries. Let's make sure the stories of MH370's passengers are never forgotten. So, what do you think happened to MH370? Share your theories in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning. The case of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 is more than just an aviation disaster. It's a haunting enigma that continues to baffle investigators, experts, and the public alike. Its disappearance isn't just a question of technical failure or human error. It's a chilling reminder of how something as vast and advanced as a modern aircraft can simply vanish without a trace in our hyper-connected world. What makes MH370 so gripping is the sheer number of unanswered questions. Why would the transponders turn off? What could drive a pilot, if the murder-suicide theory is true, to take 238 innocent lives along with their own? How could an aircraft, filled with cutting-edge technology, evade detection for so long? And if this was an accident, why has no definitive trace of the wreckage ever been found, despite years of exhaustive and costly searches? This case is not just about what we know, but about what we don't, and perhaps never will. Theories range from the plausible to the bizarre. Pilot sabotage, hypoxia, mechanical failure, military intervention, cyber hijacking. and even alien abduction. Each theory opens new avenues of thought, but none provide the closure that the families of the 239 souls on board so desperately seek. What we do know is that MH370 flew into one of the most remote and unforgiving areas on Earth, the southern Indian Ocean, a place so vast and deep that it seems almost designed to swallow secrets whole. Even with advances in sonar, satellite technology, and underwater exploration, the exact resting place of the plane remains elusive. But the search for MH370 isn't just about finding a missing plane. It's about learning lessons to ensure this never happens again. It's about demanding accountability in a world where transparency should be the standard. Most importantly, it's about honoring the memory of those on board. Ordinary people whose lives were cut tragically short, leaving their loved ones with a gaping void that no amount of speculation or theorizing can fill. MH370 reminds us of the fragility of life and the limits of human understanding. Until the day we uncover the truth, it remains one of the greatest mysteries of our time, a story that will continue to captivate and unsettle generations to come. Let us hope that someday the answers emerge from the depths, finally giving peace to those left behind.